Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by the girls basketball coach at Rockford High School. That, of course, is Brad Wilson. And, of course, Rockford a few weeks ago won their first state championship in girls basketball. How's it going?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
So it's been a few weeks since the championship game, but it's something that's never going to go away for the rest of your life.
No, it's just all kind of starting to feel real now. A little bit of a whirlwind. That finals weekend at the Breslin Center, and since then we had our banquet, which was a lot of fun. Being able to celebrate some of our accomplishments this year. Our team actually GPA, we were BCAM All State with a 3.8 GPA, so we were really fortunate and happy about that. We won our first OK Red Conference Championship since 2010. So it's great to get that box checked. We won our fourth straight district title, which is the first time in school history. Our second straight regional title, which is also the first time in history. And so just so many things to celebrate. And I've had a lot of people in the community reach out and personal friends to congratulate, and it's just been overwhelming.
Yeah, just to have the support that you guys had. I mean, state finals, there was basically a sea of orange there. What was it just like to have, the fan support and just overall, I mean, the coverage that you guys have gotten from print, from radio, from TV, just been tremendous.
Right. Yeah. So, last year we were lucky enough to get to the Breslin and unfortunately lost to the eventual state champion, West Bloomfield. But for that game, our administration had canceled school, and I think we had, 9 school buses that came with kids over to the game, and the same thing, kind of sea of orange. And this year, I think they took it to a whole nother level. Not only did they cancel school, but I think there were even more buses and more community members came out. And when it kind of feels like a home game, it's just so humbling and so exciting for the girls and so great for our community. And I was just so proud of so many people coming out. It was great.
You talk about some of the players on your team, and some of them didn't grow too much away from you. Of course, you live right by some of them, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so one of my assistant coaches, Jenny Wypitch, was an All-American at Michigan Tech as a player, and now she's helping coach, and she has 3 daughters, 2 of which that are on our varsity team, and yep, they live just a few doors down from my house. So it's been neat to see them over, their career. I've known them since they were, just young kids. They're the kind of kids that on a hot summer day when most kids their age during the summer are going to Grand Haven to the beach or something, they're out in the driveway working on their game, going to trainings and going for AU basketball all over the country. So they are special kids. And Alyssa, she was our starting point guard this year, a 4-year varsity player. She was just a phenomenal player for us her entire career. The only player in school history to win 4 straight district titles. And, when we first started working with her freshman year, we knew she'd be special. But, boy, I don't think I quite knew just what that was going to look like, by the time she became a senior. But holy cow, just an unbelievable kid. And she's going on to play at Michigan Tech to follow her mom's footstep, to play basketball there and to get her degree. And then Alyssa's sister Anna is only a sophomore, and she's has Division I offers, and was first team dream team for M Live and BCAM All State, and she's just had a lot of accolades and very special kid. Those 2 girls, the sisters, have a great connection on the court as well, and so it's been a privilege to coach them for sure.
Talk about Grace Lyons for a second. The impact that she had on this team is obviously, tremendous as well. And you get her for another year as well.
Yeah, so Grace, just as soon as she came on campus as a freshman, we found out she could really shoot the ball. Really unlike anything that I've ever seen, boys or girls. She legitimately shoots in practice, probably close to 70%. And translating that to games as a career shooter for us, her 3 years on varsity, she shot just under 48%, which is just for a high school kid. That's, to me, that's just unbelievable. So we know if she comes down and misses one, it's almost guaranteed the next one's going to go in. But she just has this gift, and it's not all God given. She puts a lot of work in the off season and training. But what I'm probably most proud of with Grace is just how she evolved in other areas of her game. She got a lot of really good feedback from some college coaches and from us. I know her dad works with her a lot, but she really did a lot of work in the off season at pump faking her shot and getting to the rim and being able to finish at the basket. She's probably one of our best defenders this year, one of our leading rebounders. So she's really evolved into a complete player, and she did commit to go to Fair State. She's following a senior last year, Al Irwin, who plays for the Bulldogs now, and so that's pretty cool as well.
Yeah. So what does it say about describe girls basketball in West Michigan? What's that like for people that may be listening? Of course, I'm a lot of teams from the east side of the state, but what is the west side of the state like in girls basketball here in Michigan?
Well, I can't speak necessarily for all of West Michigan, but I know at least for the community of Rockford, just our kids, it means a lot to them. And
Yeah.
so whether it's the band, whether it's a school play, whether it's a boys or girls sport, they come out in droves to support. The Rockford Public Schools offers basically everything that you could possibly want and then some in terms of facilities and support equipment to reach for the stars. And you saw that at the Breslin, all the people that came out. But in terms of just girls basketball, I think it's really come a long way since even when I was in high school in the late 90s, early 2000s. I don't necessarily, I couldn't imagine at a high school basketball game for the girls that the whole place would be just filled with fans, and that's what we built at Rockford. And really, when we go along in the OK Red and play some of the bigger schools in West Michigan, we see a lot of the same things, just a lot of support. And I think girls athletics in general, they have worked so hard and they've evolved so much that it's a lot of fun to watch. Really quality, clean basketball, highly skilled, and these kids are doing things that simply girls couldn't do maybe 20 years ago.
Right. When you started coaching, when you took this job at Rockford, did you ever think that you could win a state championship?
Well, I did, and I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I started my career at Belding High School, and had just 10 amazing years there. People there were great. Really was able to cut my teeth in coaching. I coached 7th grade girls basketball, 9th grade JV, and then eventually 4 years varsity there. And I also coached boys sports, football and baseball. But Rockford was right down the road, it's 17 miles away. And we always looked at Rockford as, the place where, all they do is win championships. It's just unbelievable the success that Rockford's had from one sport to the next, boys, girls. I think there's been a couple just this year, with rugby and, gymnastics and basketball now. But, I wanted to come to Rockford for a number of reasons. First of all, I've lived here for 15 years. And so when my wife and I started a family, I wanted to work and coach and raise a family all in the same town. So that was a big part of it. But also just because of the expectations and the support that Rockford offers. We came in and turned things around pretty quick and won an early district title. And that was pretty special for our program. But overall, I think people are like, okay, well, that's cool. But we really want to win state championships. And so to do that, to realize that potential, to turn the program into what it is today is humbling. It's exciting. I'm so grateful. But I did think that Rockford had the kind of athletes that we could do it. Um, Deep down, you never know. When you get to that level at the Breslin and you're playing Detroit Renaissance and West Bloomfield, do our kids have the skill level to do it? Um, there's always deep down you question it, but we got it done. So very exciting.
Yeah. So what's next in of course, the season is over. I know that, obviously the preparations are probably starting for next year. So kind of take me through the off season. What is the plan for, I mean, I bet it's different every year, but what is the plan for this off season? Just kind of take me through it.
Sure. So, of course, we have a number of athletes that are playing spring sports, which, we love that. We love kids that are multidimensional, that get the most out of their high school experience. We think that they'll benefit from running track, playing soccer, or whatever it is that they decide to do. So some of the kids were pretty hands off, and we say, hey, take everything that you learned from the basketball program from a focus perspective, an effort perspective, and leadership perspective, and take that to the next sport and go win another state title. And we try to give them some space. But we have a number of kids that are basketball only players, and they're ready and hungry to get started already. So we have a pretty extensive skill development program that we start right after spring break, several days a week. I'm limited to 4 players, but we have a nice rotation that we have. So I work with all the varsity kids, and they'll come in and we work on ball handling and finishing and shooting. And of course, a lot of those girls are also playing AAU, so they have practices with their AAU team, and they play most weekends, really all over the country. It's pretty amazing the opportunities that they have, and that's really the focus. Most of our kids take an athletic performance type class, weightlifting class in school, so they're getting that addressed during the school day. And then once the summer hits, I take that over for the girls basketball program, and we do weightlifting several days a week. We continue the skill development program. We have a team camp where we talk about our 2023, 2024 slogan and motto. We talk about just a lot of the different goals that we have for the year. And then we put in our offense and we put in our defense, and we start gelling as a team. And then we go and we play in shootouts. And so I'll have a half dozen different places that we go and we compete against other schools, and really working on team bonding, unity, just a love for each other, working on skill development. And then as we get into the fall, we continue that skill development piece, and we play in a fall league. I can't coach the team, but I'm there to support the girls, and they play at the NBA over in Grand Rapids. And then of course we have the season. So that's a quick snapshot of what our off season looks like.
Yeah. And then just, kind of say that I know there's a couple things you have to do since you won the state championship. Are the rings, have you started that process yet?
Yeah, believe it or not, on Monday. So we won the state championship on Saturday. On Monday, Jostens was in our building, and we designed our rings and already ordered them. So it's pretty special. It's a really neat thing.
Yeah, and of course, the banner as well. That's gonna, be revealed as well. What is that real? What once that gets revealed, is that gonna hit you that yeah, I'm gonna be a state champion forever?
Yeah, I talk to the seniors every year about what it means to be a senior, and being the first one in the gym, being the last one to leave, bringing the younger girls along, taking every practice as if it's your last, really trying to focus on what we can control each day. And that's just practicing as hard as we can, great energy, great attitude. And when your season's 5 months long, it's really hard to do. And so this year I talked with our seniors about finishing the job, getting to the Breslin, winning the state title, and finish was our team slogan. And they put in all that work, and they did it. So they're really leaving behind a legacy of just, they're champions in the classroom, 3.8 team GPA. They're champions on the court. And to get that big, huge picture of our team celebrating in the gymnasium and getting the banner in the gym, it's someday when they're old and gray, they can bring their kids and their husbands back and look at that and know they were a part of it. It's just it's hard to put that into words.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Brad, thank you so much for taking some time to talk with us. Congrats on winning a state championship, but we'll talk to you before the season starts next year.
All right, thank you. Go Rams.